As if there weren't enough vehicles on the roads these days, the level of traffic is expected to double in the next 30 years. And as the roads get more congested, the emergency services have more and more difficulty in reaching incidents quickly. One of the big problems is other road users who just don't get out of the way. But you know what it's like. You can hear a siren somewhere in the distance, but you're not quite sure where it's coming from. What do you do? Well, scientists at Leeds University think they've identified the problem and they've come up with a remarkable sounding solution. The first emergency vehicles relied on a bell. By the 70s, they'd switched to a two-tone air horn. Then in the 80s, that was overtaken by an electronic wail. But a new study into the effectiveness of sirens has come up with some disturbing results.
Well, our research has shown that 1 in 5 of road users actually get in the way of an emergency vehicle or do something that hinders its passage. What we've been trying to do is improve how road users respond to an emergency vehicle.
2 years of development have produced this sound. The new siren is being road tested in Leeds. If it's successful, this could be the sound of all emergency vehicles of the future.
The new sirens that we've actually put together are optimised to grab people's attention and tell where the direction of the approaching vehicle. First of all, there's an alerting phase that grabs people's attention. It says, I'm an emergency vehicle, I'm about somewhere. And then there's a burst of broadband noise which tells people from which direction they're actually approaching. Now, telling sound direction is one of the most complicated things your brain ever does. And to do it, it needs to access a huge range of frequencies. The white noise allows people to know exactly where they're coming from because it contains most of the frequencies we can hear.
Paramedics like David Heslop have been road testing the new siren.
Initially I was very sceptical, but the next day when I was driving, it won me over. I was approaching through a park in Leeds where they were playing football, and both teams stopped and looked towards the ambulance, and it started me thinking. Then I thought, well, it must be something there because I've never seen that happen.
The new siren has another unexpected benefit for the crew and patients inside an ambulance.
From the back of the vehicle you can't hear it when it's on, so if you've got cardiac patients or small children or anybody that you don't want to disturb, happy to drive along with the siren on and they're none the wiser. They're actually going to fit the new siren to the intensive care children's ambulance. The doctors and nurses from the specialist team will be able to work in the back without any disruptions whatsoever.
As an experiment, the ambulance driven by this husband and wife team has been fitted with both the new siren and the more familiar yelp and wail. It's also equipped with a video camera, so researchers can analyse how motorists react.
This first stretch of road is with the old siren. You can hear the siren clearly inside the cab. Now this car doesn't react in time, forcing the ambulance actually to come to a standstill, and it's now going to go through traffic lights on amber. Now coming out from the left-hand side is a bus and a car that should stop, but they carry on. You'll see the brake lights come on the car as it narrowly avoids colliding with the ambulance. Same stretch of road, this is with the new siren on at the moment. You can hardly hear it in the cab. Now this road user here is indicating and moving at the first available opportunity out of the path of the actual ambulance. Once again, it's going through the same traffic lights on amber. On the left-hand side, where the bus and the car pulled out before, this time they halt. If you go through city centres, you find that the ambulance seems to be changing lanes 75% of the time. That's using the existing sirens. When they've got the new siren on board, that this is reduced to about 25% of the time, so a huge difference between the old and the new.
And the new siren seems to have had a positive response from people in Leeds.
I think it's a lot better. It's a lot pleasanter as well to the ear as well.
From the side and the front, it's very distinctive, and you could actually follow the movement with your eyes shut. It's very good that way.
That's what we need, because you never know where they're coming. You stand still and you think, where are they?
Emergency services across the UK are so impressed that many want their vehicles to use it. So you too could soon be hearing this sound in your street.